Hello YouTube. The daughter of the ugliest character in the game, Yang, is here from FF4. The After Years, nobody played that game. Can't convince me otherwise, but I'm here to talk about her kit. She's actually kind of cool now that I actually took the time to understand what she does. Let me explain it to you. In this video, before you pull on Ursula, I'll give you some things to think about before you potentially use your limited resources. If you're new to the channel, I play both JP and Global and use that experience and knowledge to help inform others. Do me a favor, go in the comment section, let me know what you're thinking about this character, as well as liking the video, subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Check out the Ranting Hour, my weekly stream where I talk about more Dissidia related stuff, and you can also become a member to guarantee I reply to your comments and get some emotes. Ursula is a new character, new for me as well, because I wasn't too familiar with her at first while I was reading through this. But her kit is a battery and kind of a third slot support-ish character. She does a lot of things and I'm going to explain all of them. Her skill 1 is just an HP attack, no battery, brave hits, etc. After that, she does a 30% M brave gain, and then does 3 brave hits and then another HP attack on the target. 20% splash that inflicts instant break but does not re-break and applies her debuff. This debuff is 40% defense down, 20% speed down, and allows Ursula to hit weakness damage. Her skill 2 is an instant turn rate, free turn, party battery, which has 2 parts. One is just 20% of her max brave, but the other unconditionally sets the entire party's brave to her max brave. This is not affected by brave gain reductions, it is just a flat set brave to this. Then she does a single HP attack but does not consume her brave. Her EX is also a free instant turn. It's a brave gain into a split HP attack and then more brave hits and another split HP attack. The buff from this attack gives the party minor attack up in M brave. She drops her framed Tenketsu debuff from her skill 1 and an additional unframed speed down 40% and defense down 40%. This makes a total of 60% speed down and an 80% defense down. The brave hits on the EX are also defense ignore. Her LD ties their entire kit together. It's a triple AoE split brave plus HP attack. The brave attacks are defense ignore and she gets another buff that gives the party gained overflow by 20%, HP damage up 20%, 30% brave damage. And now the party cannot get broken because she gives the entire party a 20% M brave floor. I think there's technicalities on when this can get pierced, but largely you're not going to get broken. Your M brave floor is normally 0, but Ursula makes it so the entire party's M brave at base is going to be 20% of their M brave, hence M brave floor. After using LD, Ursula gets 2 charges of a special HP plus. Think of Lena, how she gets charges of a special HP attack after she uses LD, same thing with Ursula. This HP attack functions similarly to Charlotta's skill 2. She does a party battery and then does an HP attack based on each party member's current bravery amount. HP damage dealt is 100% AoE. Ursula does not consume her brave, so this is just straight up true damage. If that wasn't enough, Ursula also has a warping mechanic. After every turn a boss takes, if a party member is supposed to act next, Ursula will fast forward her turn in front of theirs. To understand it better, you can go watch a video. Or, imagine it's a single target fight, you got Ursula and, I don't guess, Yang in the party, right? The turn order is boss, Yang, Ursula. After the boss moves, Ursula will move her turn in front of Yang's. This warp turn is free, and unlike Eld or Realm, Ursula can actually do one of her instant turn rate moves and continue acting afterwards. So let's say you skill 2 or additional ability when she gets her warp turn, you can still keep acting afterwards. It won't let her turn go back to normal. Oh, and she gets a free skill use after LD as well. Her high armor plus is Unity with an even brave and HP split if you blew her. I guess that's because the 80% defense down she's bringing, she's supposed to help you hit harder. I don't know what they were thinking here. Her base call is her skill 2. She does the untaxed battery into a single HP attack, and her LD call gives some offensive stats on top of having a 10% M brave floor for the party, which is situationally pretty handy. So now for the analysis. Ursula's strengths are her versatility. First off, those debuffs, 80% defense down and 60% speed down. I think that's the highest speed down from a character in the game. I think Laguna comes second in a single frame, and to be fair, Ursula's is not all packed in one debuff, but provided you maintain her EX debuffs, that's ridiculous. Brave floor is another useful way to increase party members' HP damage because they're not dropping below a certain amount, so people with multiple HP attacks will love that. Unconditional battery and true damage from some of her attacks. Ignore defense, instant break, and those warp turns also providing the avenue to set up that unconditional battery, protecting the team, etc. She can be a great enabler. And half of her moves are free instant turns anyways. For weaknesses, her own damage isn't terribly impressive. The skill 1's a bit sad. Skill 2 and EX are free, so that makes up for the lack of HP damage there. Really, her biggest output is going to be her Charlotta style HP attack, which can actually scale quite nicely if you got a lot of HP cap up in the party. So it ends up not being the fairest comparison because she gets a bunch of free turns, but it is what it is. She's not a damage deal in the first place. Her attack auras are below average, 70%, she cannot solo support. But to be fair, we are about to go into C90 where characters have a lot an easier time pumping out their own damage, so she could potentially be sufficient going into that era. And don't get it twisted, she ages fine into C90, but she does not heal either. And while if you stack her debuffs, they can be strong, 2 of the good ones are unframed, so you might push them off if you're not careful. And those warps, while they are pretty good, you can also eat away at Lufenia orbs when you don't really need to, so it's ultimately a double-edged sword. Potential teams, and I'm just reminiscing when she first got her LD trailer, and Square Enix in usual Square Enix fashion did a horrible showcase, but she is quite handy in the right teams. Embrave Flora will pair nicely with people who have multiple HP attacks with no refund in the middle, and even if they do have refund in the middle, she'll help amplify it as well. So it ends up making sense she's synergy with Machina because she'll passively amp his burst HP attack. But your Zac, Snow, Tifa, it's a long list. Damn near everyone has multiple HP attacks, so they'll all benefit from the Embrave floor. She actually gives a ridiculous amount of Embrave up, so anything that scales on Embrave, be it batteries or regens, will also pair nicely with Ursula. It's not really easy to pick out someone specifically who works well with her just because she's so well rounded. She kind of fits everywhere. I can see her working nicely with Noel and Sid, who are coming next week on Dissidiainfo with C90. Just because of their multiple HP attacks, we could go even further and stack some debuffs. Machina plus Ursula again. Machina's frame speed down is 30%, and Ursula is bringing 60%, so the bosses are going to be really moving pretty slow. Garland with his overhead 50% speed down, and his no battery having attacks will benefit from the Embrave floor. Although at this point, you're probably going to need to support Garland's damage pretty well, as he's not pumping out that big numbers. She's flexible. As for future useful fights, she can be handy on Divine Ifrit so you don't get broken by Ifrit and sent back. Her defense ignore and warping could be very handy on tier 7, although tier 7 is kind of easy in the first place since she does hit the defense ignore orb on the Sabin. I mean, not Sabin, excuse me, wow, sorry, Ink. Edgar Lost Chapter. You could potentially hit the Papa Limo LD orb where you gotta do consecutive turns and do a certain amount of damage on the second one. The Gilgamesh orb where you need to do special HP attacks, hers will qualify, I believe, although I don't quite know. And most recently, right before she gets her FR, she can help in the Divine Odin fight so you don't get broken. Although I predict a lot of people will be just Tidus / Machina plus Cam friending that anyways. So what are my plans? I think I convinced myself to go for her. I keep looking ahead at C90 month 1 and there's nothing I want that I don't already have. She's also Ganyu's voice actor in Genshin, and I'm a massive simp. She's also Kanao in Demon Slayer, and that Embrave floor thing seems fun to play around at least. So why not? We'll see how I like her. Not a blue out of the gate because I'm actually running out of those materials. But worth a shot. She would definitely bolster my Zac runs, and it would be my last chance to get Machina's BT. Why not have some fun? The event, most of you guys aren't going to see these mechanics because you're going to blow through it, and they do not punish no turning at all, so if you're going to just Machina stomp through it, or Tidus or whoever, have at it. But the orb is to battery someone to above 100% of their max brave. If you have Bart's, his refund will probably hit this if your DPS is high enough, hence blowing through it. The bosses actually give you an Embrave buff to potentially make this harder to hit that 100%, so this fight does have some mechanics, and if they get turns, they can potentially blow you up. They also buff their own speed, and I think the turn count is something like 50, and the HP requirement is 5,000, which both can sneak up on you. But you can just let them not have turns and do your thing. You can stun them, not let them act, dispel them, prevent them from acting, etc. I think Quistis can hit the orb, Bart's refund obviously. I'm kind of curious if Zac and Snow's refunds can hit the orb as well, but you got a lot of options. Just bring enough damage and you'll be fine. And if you are letting them act, just bring some mitigation, because they can hit you hard and send you back. In JP, I ran a stomp team of Machina, Kuja, and Bart, and missed the HP requirement at the end. But in GL, I'm thinking of doing the Zac Maria combo again. If I do get Ursula, then I'll probably try those 3 out together, see how it works. Probably do a snow run. Oh yeah, Lena's special HP plus should tick the orb too. There's a lot of options. I might do a Quistis run as well, but then I really gotta support her damage. I'll see what I can do. But I'm expecting a lot of Sid Mao and Machina runs from the community, because why not do that? They let you. Now for my pull advice. This is purely from a meta perspective, not for people who've already decided. If you have a favorite and you know what you want to do, by all means, it's your account. If you're having a hard time with the fight, use the call to arms, Discord, get some help, see what you can do. I can't really think of a good reason to suggest anyone grab Ursula. At best, I think she can be a good fun pick for vets, and this is just basing it off my own experience. I didn't feel like I missed much when I didn't have her. Obviously very powerful, but if you've been Bart's, Sid Mowing, playing for long enough, your roster's probably fine enough. And if you're newer, you should be pulling on everything. Ursula definitely is not as impactful in no boss turn runs, so if that's your thing, Ursula's probably not the character for you. If If you're willing to experiment, you might have some fun with her, but I can't guarantee that. So really, if you're on the fence, I'd say you're probably better off skipping. We're about to get C90 and a bunch of free upgrades, and you might just bench her ultimately. And for the people saying, oh, wait until her FR, none of you idiots are pulling on her FR, except for the people that already plan to. So stop lying. You're all going to be running Cam plus Tita/Machina in those events and blowing through it. She has one of the better FRs in my opinion. She comes with Sync 90 and Rework, and then Freya LD's on the banner as well as during Gabronth's BT cycle. But even from a meta perspective there, I don't think that's the most attractive banner as well, so worry about the game in 8 months when you're there largely. I'm gonna see what I can do with Ursula, but I think if you're struggling with content, she's probably not the one you should pick up. But if she sounds fun, go for it. She does so much that she might open up a different playstyle that you may enjoy. But that's ultimately all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out Ranting Hour. You know what to do. I'll see you guys in the event. Have a good one. Peace.